negotiator. Here he's against the ropes. I've never seen.
And there's a right hand uppercut, and down goes Douglas.
Mike Tyson was extremely powerful. He was strong, and most importantly, he was on a winning streak back during his prime. He had won 37 matches and was ever ready to win his 38th match as well. But that did not happen as Buster Douglas broke his winning streak and was the first person to win against Mike Tyson.
Landing these, nice uppercut by Buster Douglas. Look at this, he's knocked down.
So with that being said, in this video, let's take a quick look at what went down on the 11th of February 1990 at the Tokyo Dome between Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas. Right from the time the bell was sounded, Douglas showed extreme confidence in the ring. He wasn't intimidated by the winning streak that Tyson had, nor was he afraid of Tyson's lethal punches. Douglas was seen moving and sprinting all across the ring and constantly kept throwing punches everywhere, unafraid of them connecting or not. As and when opportunities arose, Douglas was ready instantly to throw in as many punches as he could. Attacking Tyson was his main priority, and taking him down was his goal for that night. During the initial few moments of the round, Douglas was seen pulling out his famous jabs that were both sharp and accurate. Moreover, they were quick, but Tyson was able to handle all this as his punches were more lethal than Douglas. So whenever Tyson tried to break through Douglas' guard, Douglas ended up tying him up.
Keep in mind that Carl Williams looked pretty loose and relaxed against Tyson until Tyson hit him with a body.
He would either do this or move away, leaving Tyson with empty punches or punches that didn't connect. Occasionally, in such cases, Douglas would use this opportunity to throw in multiple punches as soon as his opponent came into his range. During the earlier moments of the match, Douglas showed some great agility in the ring, but Tyson outlanded Douglas with his punches. In round 2, things were quite heated up and Douglas ended this round with a clean and sharp uppercut to Tyson's chin. This truly infuriated Tyson and he was ready to bring in the rage to the game. It took some time for Tyson to come back to reality after he received that punch to his chin, but once he did, he unleashed his inner beast and seemed to get back to his normal lethal self. As a form of revenge, Tyson threw in a punishing left hand to Douglas' body that damaged Douglas pretty badly. Tyson's punches are hard, and this body shot that he had just thrown at Douglas surely must have made him regret entering the ring for a quick second.
Right hand and a good right uppercut and 2 more good rights by Douglas. I don't think I've ever seen Tyson.
The third round was pretty calm compared to the previous 2 rounds that they fought. They were being cautious, but the audience and the other professionals on the ringside were not impressed by the slow performance. Due to that, Tyson's cornerman Jay Bright screamed out to Tyson, asking him to pump up the tempo of the match. Taking a step back from what was going on in the ring, Sugar Ray Leonard was on the ringside doing commentary for this match. Even he felt that Tyson was not performing to his full potential on that night and stated that it probably was just one of those days that everyone has where things just don't go right. Douglas' right hand and jabs were gaining him points during these first few initial rounds of the match. He continued to use these power shots of his during the middle rounds of the match and dominated these rounds with class. Tyson threw in his own uppercuts, but that wasn't enough to win enough points to put him above his opponent on the scorecards. In the 5th round of this match, Douglas threw in a massive right hand that left Tyson in a wobbly state. After a while, it was pretty evident that Tyson was in a pretty damaged state as Douglas's right jab seemed to have caused Tyson's left eye to well up. This disrupted Tyson's vision, and thus he was not able to see quite a few of the punches that Douglas was throwing in his direction.
He was extremely close to his mother. Right hand by Douglas right on Tyson's chin.
No one expected Tyson to be in such a battered state, and hence the cornerman was not prepared for this scenario. The Enswell or ice packs that the cornermen usually carry along with them were not brought by Tyson's corner, and thus tending to his injuries was quite hard. So they came up with a makeshift solution that included using a rubber glove filled with ice water to calm down the swelling in Tyson's face. They held this cold glove against Tyson's face between rounds so that he could fight better and endure the pain. His corner and the people on this team were left in a panic state. None of them knew how Tyson would deal with a loss, and this scared them more, especially after knowing his aggressive nature out of the ring. Tyson was injured and tired out, but the people from his corner continued to provide him with motivation and gave him the same advice between rounds. They asked him to throw in jabs and move his head away from Douglas' punches whenever possible. They also asked him to deliver right hands, and that's what he tried to do in every single round. In the 8th round of this match, Douglas was throwing in power shots as well as plenty of other shots that connected with his opponent. He was clearly dominating in terms of points, and Tyson's patience levels were dropping. Only 10 seconds of the 8th round were left, and Douglas had backed Tyson to the ropes. placing him in a very compromising position. Douglas's confidence levels were high at this point, and due to this reason, his guard was let down for a small moment, and Tyson took advantage of this small moment. Tyson threw in a massive right uppercut that sent Douglas flying to the floor of the ring. Douglas was in a dazed state but managed to make it back up just in time, beating the countdown. The bell was sounded just after this, and Douglas was lucky enough to be given enough time to process what had just happened to him.
Initiator. Here he's against the ropes. I've never seen.
And there's a right hand uppercut, and down goes Douglas.
In the 9th round, Tyson was hoping that Douglas would slow down in this round after having received that punch from him. In fact, Tyson was trying to knock down Douglas, as that would be the only way he could win this match. But Douglas came back into the ring and defended himself from Tyson's offense, and even managed to damage Tyson's eye with a few more blows, resulting in Tyson's eye shutting up entirely. Both the boxers threw in dangerous punches at each other before Douglas threw in a 4-punch combination that sent Tyson to the ropes. Tyson was against the ropes, and Douglas threw in another lethal combination that almost knocked Tyson out. Tyson managed to scrape through this round and managed to make it to round 10. Little did he know that the 10th round would be the last round that he would be fighting.
Wobbling. Tyson needs the ropes for support. Douglas wailing away. Without the ropes, Mike would have gone down.
In round 10, Tyson tried to give it his all and threw in as many punches as he could in anticipation of winning by knockout. But the punishing punches that he had received from the first round until then seemed to have damaged him as well as tire him out immensely. Tyson started closing in towards Douglas, only to receive a few jabs, followed by an uppercut that sent Tyson's head in the upward direction. Tyson was left shocked in that moment, as well as was pretty badly hurt from that last punch. Tyson managed to get his head straight and got back into the match, only to face Douglas's 4 punches to his head that sent Tyson to canvas for the first time in his career. This was a huge moment for Douglas, as he was the first person to knock out Mike Tyson. Tyson had his mouthpiece dangling from his mouth and tried to make it back to his feet, but was unsuccessful at it. At this moment, Douglas became the new undisputed heavyweight champion, with many calling this match the biggest upsets in boxing history. Douglas won this match by a 10th round knockout, and for the first time in Tyson's career, he had to leave the ring without a win. That was definitely quite hard for him to accept, but he didn't let that eat at him, and he did come back to fight a few more matches before he retired from the game.
Try to get in the shot that will finish things in
Oh,
his
the uppercut.
What an uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson.
Tyson managed to hold on to his dignity and fight a few more matches, starting a new winning streak. But even that ended when he lost against Evander Holyfield. Lennox Lewis was another professional boxer who fought Tyson and left the ring as the winner. The last 2 matches that Tyson fought were against Kevin McBride and Danny Williams, and he lost both these matches as well. He never came back to the ring and even mentioned that those last few fights were driven more by the money aspect that they came with as opposed to the drive and passion he had for the game. Mike Tyson is one of the best boxers out there, and his name will always be there in bold in the history of boxing for years to come. Hope you enjoyed today's content. Make sure you subscribe to the Home of Boxing. See you very soon.